Started to write you a letter, and I kept thinking how much I wanted to send you a tape right now. So the letter's half written, and I've started a tape. I'm sitting in Lele's house in my room, on the floor where my bed is, and there are all sorts of night sounds outside, and I don't know if this will pick them up. But little children across the street are playing in groups and going to the bathroom. They go to the bathroom together across the street. And it's absolutely hilarious to watch them, it really is. Just because they kind of just do it and kind of have fun and do it together and move over to another person and do it with him. And they yell and laugh and get beat. And they're tiny. I figured out that these children are extremely small. And it's not because of malnutrition, I don't think. It's because they have to walk at an earlier age than American kids do. Maybe that's just all in my mind. But they are so tiny, and they're just walking and doing all normal things. I just listened to that. And I do have a lot of elongated verbs. No, not verbs. What are they called? Vowels, don't I? I'm using this really long tape because I'm going to take about 2 days to do this tape. And I'm going to go to different places in Pune and just record the sounds. Like, the market sound is an incredible sound, just incredible. The sound of a concert. I'm going to a concert tonight. Right now there's a festival in Pune for 3 nights, from 9 in the evening until 5 in the morning, and tomorrow night it'll be until 7 in the morning. They sing and they play sitar and they play sanai, which is a flute type thing. And I went last night until 5, and it was an endurance test. I slept through parts of it. But I'll record some of that for you. And I already got sounds of Yoroda, where Deccan College is. There's so many sounds here. Lakshmi Road sound. The sound of priests or pujaris doing puja. The bells, a bhajan, where people, mostly women, but sometimes men too, sometimes mostly men, come and sing devotional songs. Just so many sounds. I just want to share everything with you. And it's so impossible. I just, this morning finished typing a 10-page paper on Islamic ethics. And do you know that your definition of humility is Islamic? Because they say that humility is knowing your place in relation to God. Matter of fact, that might not even be what it said, but it's what I deduced from what they said. So you have... Islam is a really, really good thing. But we can talk about that. Your last letters were so despairing. I hope the cable got through to you. I feel kind of like I'm not doing my part, but I also feel, by being here and not home, but I also feel that, in a sense, I'm trying to live for you while you're in this. I kind of wish I could help in a more definitive way. I really haven't been doing too well in just feelings wise. Well, for one thing, I've had varying degrees of dysentery and diarrhea for the past 2 weeks, which hasn't helped anything. But oh, and also a major holiday came up called Diwali, which I wrote you about, and I got absolutely stuffed. 4 days, every day, 4 days. Every place I went, you constantly get invitations, and I felt bloated and glutted and sick. And I'm still cutting down my food intake to make up for it. But I don't know, I have less than 5 weeks left in India. And that's an incredible thought. I have to write another paper on Islam for my class, and then write my project. I think my project is going to be more or less a manual of how to sing Indian songs, at least as much as I've learned with translations and all that jazz. Thank you very much for the list. Most of the things that are valuable in Western music are non-existent in Eastern music, like tone production. Tone quality. Doesn't seem to matter what the voice does. You can have a horrible, ugly voice and be the greatest singer. In fact, the greatest singer does have a horrible, ugly voice, and I don't like listening to him. But a lot of your suggestions really made me think, like audience appeal, and just a whole lot of them did. And it will give me some direction to go in the paper and in looking for things to write. I was to get from Deccan College to just about any place, I have to go over one main bridge, Bun Garden Bridge, and there's a bunge right there over the river, in the river. And when we first came, and in the monsoon, it was covered with water, and so it made a little waterfall about a foot high of rushing water, and now it's dry, and it's about 10 or 15 feet high from the water level. And Emily and I walked across it, and I just looked out the river, and I noticed that the palm trees and the thick, luscious other kinds of trees and the undergrowth and the birds and the water and the smell and the people, the poor people wearing dirty old pajama, the goats in the street, and the cows, and all the things that were 100% new to me when I first came are still fresh. The only thing they've lost is their newness, because every day I still look and I'm amazed at them. I'm amazed at what goes on here in the street, but it's lost its newness. I'm used to it. I feel at home here now. The only lack is that I can't speak the language, and my Marathi's gone way, way down, especially since my vacation. But this is natural to me. For instance, across the street where I'm looking now, I can sit on the floor and look out the window because I've got double windows. Kind of Dutch door type windows, only there's a bottom on them too, which has bars. Most of the windows in India, at least in Pune, have bars on them, which is very good. You feel very secure. It's not a jailed-in feeling at all, and I never thought of that until once it occurred to me that bars were just like jails, but it's not like that. It's very secure. You can have your windows wide open and not have any worry about anything. But anyway, across the street as I look, all these little children, right now, they've all got on clothes, which clothes consists of at the minimum a string around the waist, but also consists just of a shirt, say, or for girls a dress, not underwear or anything. And very often, as often as not, they just go naked. But like this, the house is dark. It has small windows. It's made out of either cow dung. One little section I can see is covered with cement. It's all dark. There are no lights inside. Maybe they don't have lights. It's made out of mud or cow dung. And it's generally very poor. And let's see, right directly in front of us, on the other side of the street, is a garbage dump, around which all the little kids relieve themselves, or near which they're supposed to relieve themselves. Once they relieve themselves near the front door, and did they ever get bawled out? But, like, people just come and dump their garbage there, kind of in the open, and then the cows and the dogs and the goats and kids come and buy for all their garbage. And right near here, our house has a tin roof. Most houses do. Rusted, with garbage on the top. Junk, not garbage. Trash. Old metal springs and rocks. And this is it. I've gotten used to this. And it just doesn't, and it's not even that material things are what India is, but that I feel very much at home in this place that was so completely strange to me such a short time ago. I can get along by myself. I don't need people to help. And yet I think it'll all be gone in 5 weeks. I'm very much looking forward to the culture shock in the United States. Looking forward to the excitement of it, not to the not so much to the experience of it, but it should be a very exciting thing, I think. But it just seems inconceivable that I can leave this place. That I'm going to, that I only have 5 more weekends left. That's just inconceivable to me. I get sick of the traffic every day. Because people, you won't believe the traffic. You won't believe me when I tell you about it. There's no way you can, because it doesn't exist this way in the United States. But I get sick of it every time I go out, and I get infuriated every time I go out on the street. I get annoyed at people who force their hospitality on me when I don't want it, and when I know they really don't care whether I want it or not, just so that it's given. I get tired of the inefficiency. I get tired of it when it's unnecessary and stupid. The kind of thing that made me go out, pedal out about 4 miles to the main library in Pune. 3 times just to be able to take 1 book out. When you talk about Mary's little mix-up at the airport, that happens every single day. And yet I really feel at home here. I really do. I showed somebody some American money yesterday. I don't know how I did it, because I know I didn't think of it consciously, but I saved a quarter and a dime and a nickel in the side pocket in the suitcase, and I knew automatically what they were. And he didn't know. He couldn't tell exactly what they were. And all of a sudden I noticed we don't have the numbers written on. In Indian money, they have a great big 1 for a 1 paisa or a 10 for a 10 paisa note written in numerals on there. And we don't have that. You've got to read it. You've got to be able to read. It's very, very strange. The money looked very strange to me. And will be. It's Indian money is still strange to me, but now so is American money. And yesterday I tried to picture Macy's on 34th Street. And I know I've become acclimatized because before I could always picture American places. But I couldn't picture it without peeled paint on the display cases and kind of scuffed, and a lot of papers on the floor. And I can't picture it full of Westerners. And I don't even know if I want to picture it full of Westerners. I'm not depressed about leaving, but it's strange. The idea of leaving just strikes me. And it doesn't strike me good. It strikes me kind of bad, but not depressingly bad. Just strikes me kind of as life. I just come to expect anything. Either nothing or anything, and both at the same time here. And so this is just a part of it, just having to leave it all. Having to work so hard to get into it. Physically, academically, emotionally, spiritually. And yet, now having to leave all of a sudden. The doorbell just rang because a girl is coming to take me to go buy oos. And you shall come along, okay? And oos is sugarcane squeeze, so we're going to drink it, and I have a feeling it's going to taste horrible, but I'm going along anyway. Just say. It wasn't the girl, whose name is Alaka, by the way. It's Mrs. Lele, who went out shopping. But the girl should be here any time now, so we'll go out with her when she comes. I just changed back to the hand mic. I've been using the hand mic, and I turned it on the internal mic before. That's a finished statement about having to leave it all. In your tape, you mentioned about the experience versus the academia and everything, and lately, I haven't minded being involved with the mind, even academically. Cheap academics I don't like. They're stupid. Kind of stuff we were studying with the cults where you named all the names of gods and recognized all his attributes and all this garbage. But the paper on Islam was fascinating. Expansive. And I could really, really get into it. I really enjoy reading about views of God. And I don't hold to most of them. And that isn't that I know better than they do, but it's that I have a feeling that I'm going to have to stop reading very soon. And start doing something about it if it's going to be anything. That is, if I am really going to have a commitment to truth, that I've got to stop reading about it. Or stop just reading about it and really do something about it. Or make it do something in my life. I'm kind of afraid of becoming more enamored with reading about truth than with truth itself. The way I think that Shashi is more enamored sometimes of coming in contact with the saints. He's always talking about saints, this saint, that saint, this saint, rather than God. And I know I don't want that. One thing here that I realized that made me, one of the things that made me change my project, that I was, for one thing, that I was looking for something in religion as a topic. I was getting it mixed up with what I want to come to know in God. But that, and the separation helped me to get into the other one, but I found that people who were saying all the high ideals of Hinduism sounded just like books. They say that Easterners live their philosophy, but I haven't met many who do. It's very easy to be quiet and passive. And just let other people take care of things for you. Most of these men I've talked to have wives that take care of them and their worldly needs. And that is all they do. They quote out of books. I don't think they really know. I trust far more what you say than any of the guys here that I've met. I was going to say something. It must not have been very important. Oh, that I am tired of the people who sound like they're just quoting out of books all the time. They really don't sound like they know what they're talking about. It's only what it should be. And I can do that. I do that. About this mind thing, I can sit in my room, not too much, and let the life go by while I read. For one thing, because reading right now is my direction. But also because it's expanding my mind. Can you hear that song? That's the national anthem. It's a horrible thing. I'll sing it for you sometime. There's a school right across the street and they play it sometimes, I guess. Let's see. I don't mind the academics. I think from my study of Aurobindo and the gurus and Eric Hoffer, people like him, the ones who have devoted, well, not Eric Hoffer, devoted their lives to God, but the discipline that is included in their lives includes a mental discipline. Just a second. Mrs. Lele gave me some chuda, it's called. It's kind of like, the only thing comparable to it in the United States is nuts and bolts, but it's incredibly spicy. But these people develop their minds. And I know for me that developing my mind just isn't developing my mind, it's with God in mind. Because I remember I thought about philosophy as a major because I thought it would be really good mind discipline. And I still think that, but Western philosophy isn't where I want to do. I don't want to read all that man-centered stuff. When I see life as something, the everyday life as something less than great in what it is, it makes sense. When I see life with a one omniscience and God, even a personal God, and a God with a beard, I think that is the best analogy. Christians including me, have said, God is thinking of God with a beard is just an awful analogy, but I think it is just great. And it's the way I think of him, as a matter of fact. I don't know if I told you this. When I was in Haridwar, I was staying at an ashram called Sapta Rushi. You know who the Rishis were. They revealed the Vedas to mankind. They were men. And where the ashram was where they sat in meditation and forced Ganga to split in 7 branches to go around them. And therefore Sapta, 7 in Sanskrit, the prefix meaning 7, Rushi ashram. And there's just one temple there with the 7 Rishis. And they all look basically the same, with a bun of hair on the top of their head, with hair coming down in mats. White marble, I think. Images. Not life-size, slightly smaller than life-size. Painted up, white, with red. Not in any... they had eyes and ears and nose, but there was no shading or anything like that to make them look human. There very rarely is. I can't remember seeing it. And I remember looking at one, and it looked so much like it was breathing that I touched it to make sure that it wasn't. Or to really see if it was, put it that way. The first time I noticed that was, I wrote you, in the Shiva temple near Deccan College. No, I maybe not have told you that, because I want to save that. It's where I learned the meaning of ritual and idolatry and its value. Or it's where I began to, And since I saw that Rishi, I've noticed that so often. Nandi is Shiva's bull. Shiva rides Nandi around. And outside of every Shiva temple, or facing every Shiva ling, is a Nandi, waiting patiently for him, sitting, pointing towards him, always. And very often Nandi looks like he's about to get up. And Shivalings are an extremely vibrant representation of God, extremely so. Wow. The Shiva temple in Banaras Hindu University is a huge, modern, gaudy thing, but I really liked it. And the center, the sanctuary of a Hindu temple is called Garbhagriha, which means the house of the womb or something like that. But it was perfectly the opposite of Hindu. It was absolutely sterile. Nothing on the walls, and large, and a geometric yoni with a foot-high ling coming out of it. And it was just... it really did possess life. To me. So I think the image of a personal God, the old white man sitting in his throne, white bearded man, is an apt one. I think it's perfectly good. Alaka has come, and we're off to buy oos. That's nice music. What is it? Really? It's beautiful. Which one? What picture
ये था मजनू सुल्तानपुर का कला, जिसे फिल्म सुजाता के लिए एच.डी. बर्मन ने संगीत से सवारा और कला
Sujata is the name of the teacher.
सुनना चाहते थे राइफलमैन
Bengali?
के एम खन्ना, गन्नर जे.जे. सिंह, एम के बाला
Is that
और
Oos?
सिपाही के.आर. भोसले।
Viva! Viva!
Acha. Oh, right. What is the juice of
लीजिए
this?
दोहरे असर वाला वीवा भरपूर शक्ति शक्ति
Okay. It smells good. This tastes great. Yes. Is this oos juice? Oos. Ras. Oh, this tastes great. Really does.
And it is very cheap.
How much?
20 paisa.
20 paisa. Oh, this just tastes so good.
First time.
Yeah, I've seen oos that's clear oos though.
At the door.
I don't see it. No, oos, no, rust. That is not yellow. That is just like water. And it tastes, I've had that and it tasted awful. Oh, this just tastes great.
You like it?
Oh, Tara would like it. You like it, Mary?
Tape karta?
Oh, got a copy.
Hindi yata?
Nine. How'd teach up the Hindi? Sat, wait, Sach? Ek, do, teen, cha, pat, Sat. Sach? Alright, Das. Ani. I forgot. Huh?
American kan मुली आले थे ना संघर्ष अमेरिकन मुली आले थे
Mulia?
अमेरिकन
Oh?
गुजरात
Me?
देर में
Sari? Sari
गुजराती सारी
Oh, Ekats. Kavida. Kavida. Ti Gujarati Kutumba Barabar Rahile. Ekidon Warsha Purva.
एकदम वर्षापूर्वी
Oh.
आणि क्रॉप केलं
Oh, Bombay Maji.
ते बॉम्बे
मुंबई.
आधे इंडिया
No. No Gujarati in New York. What do you do now? Nothing? Are you going to get married soon? Oh, soon? When? Have you met your husband?
No.
No? Do you know who he is?
No.
No? Shazaya. Oh, great. Please.
So how do you like Pune, Shiji? So good.
Yes, I do like it very much.
तुला इथं घे म्हणजे आपल्याला फार आणि मग फुटाणा ना तिकडे म्हणजे फार लांब नको जायला का आता थंडी पडते ना
आणि जर आपण असं करूया आपण रतन सायकलच्या गल्लीतून येऊया ना रतन माठच्या गल्लीतून येऊया
तिकडनं काय सर
मग तिथेच पुढे आला नाही तर नको येतो ना जायचं भांडण झालं तर मला पोचूया
सुंदर होता ना आत्ता रोड फार वाटतं की नाही का
वाकून वाकून
थंडी वाजायला लागली की नाही का मला वाटतं अरे पहाटे तर किती
Well, I'm back again, and they've left. The first part of that tape, I just turned it on. We were sitting right next to a radio. That was a cinema song. That's what we're talking about, and I'm commenting that it's a very beautiful song. And they're just talking. At one point in there, they ask if I know a Gujarati girl, and one of the girls wears her sari Gujarati style, because I say that Kavita lived with a Gujarati family in Bombay. And then when the radio stops, also that's advertising, and those bells in the background are the advertising that comes on the radio, and you hear that all the time because people carry around radios with them all over, just everywhere. Is someone with a radio, portable radio. So anyway, let's see. The radio stops. I think Alaka is paying for it, for the Rus, and it really was good. I was very surprised. And then there's that pause. I think we're just coming out of the street, and it's fairly uncrowded. And the other girl, Gita, asked me, who came with us, asked if I like Pune. And then you hear that horn in the background is a auto rickshaw, the famous Indian taxi horn. And the sounds are just the motors and the people. The town is very busy at night, it always is. Just after sundown it gets very, very busy. And it was perfectly normal night. I'm going to stop now and continue at the concert. See you, Mira. Mira, I just feel so happy. I just can't tell you. Listening to your tape, talking to you, and just feeling so close to you is just made me so happy. I just feel so perked up. I'm just ready to live and go and be and do. Just thought I ought to tell you that. This happens all the time. They're celebrating something in their home. I can't see because there's a fence, stone fence between me and them. It's about 12:30 after midnight. This sounds like very much like some of the bhajans I've been to. It's just happening in a regular house, and I looked over the fence. There's a shrine set up. This is the kind of life there is here. Man is outside. I'm back at Lele's now. It's Sunday. And there's a beggar outside who's singing, and I'll record part of that for you. These people just appear all over. What is he singing about? Some bhajan? About God? About God? It's 25 paisa now. Would you be embarrassed if I took a picture? Mary, this is my voice lesson. I'm only going to record a section of mine and then some of the kids that come afterwards. I'll record more of mine later, okay? Oh, it's wrong. You can talk. You can talk. That's okay. You can talk. Ni sa mere to eka. Oh yeah. Mere to eka Ram Nam, mere to eka Ram Nam. Tu sarana koi re Prabhu, tu sarana koi re Prabhu. Mere to eka Ram Nam, mere to eka Ram Nam. Baba chode pita chode mata chode ta chode chode sage baire santana sanga baita baita loka laga koire mere to eka Rama Nam mere to eka mere to eka mere to eka Rama Nam Namra Bhava Guru Pai Namaha Namra Bhava Guru Pai Namaha Tyaka Karita Adi Preme Shubhadini Namra Bhava Guru Pai Namaha Masa Zavali Sukha Sare Samale Guru Bhajana Vinavaya Gele Modana Vate Anya Upai Namra Bhava Guru Pai Kamaha Namra Bhava Guru Pai Bhava Guru Pai Bhava Guru Pai Kamaha.
You see, you did mistake one. That you sung this one.
Yeah. Oh, right. I should
This
just
one,
go straight.
and you forgot it.
Right.
You take three.
3 in a row. Okay. Sa re ma pa sa pa da ma ga da ma pa ga ma re ga sa ni sa re ga sa Rajaninath yena bhat Rajaninath yena bhat Karidharani dhavala shanta Rajaninath yena bhat Nija dhanuja parikalanka Nija dhanuja parikalanka Karina dura dosha shanka Samhita nirvilash dekha janarata je paramita Rajaninath yena bhat Rajaninath 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 yena bhat
Bye.
Mira, there was a second part to that second raga that I was going to do, but the microphone all of a sudden wouldn't work. So I'll sing it for you at another time, okay? It's the next day after this. This is taking a really long time, I'm sorry. It's the next day after this that I recorded this, let's see, the guy on singing. And I want to record the market sounds. I'm going to skip my voice class this morning and go to the Mandai, which means market, and just walk around and show you some of the sounds. It's just a fantastic place, and I guess it's kind of dumb to do this because you really can't appreciate it without seeing all the people and smelling all the fantastic smells. It's just, I've never smelled a place like it that had such good smelling raw food. And it's really quite an incredible place. It's all, well, there are two buildings, one real old one and one new one. And the new one is just like a department store kind of, except it's all open. It's more like a combination of garage and department store. And it's all cement, in other words, and they're just little platforms for people to set up their goods and everything. And I imagine that all the people stay in the one place because many of them have their images right there too, and they look fairly like they've been there for a long time and haven't been touched. So anyway, we'll go to the Mandai.
₹5 per 1 kilo. Oranges? 80 rupees per 1 kilo. 3 rupees per 1 kilo, 5 rupees per 1 kilo.
How many are in a kilo?
5 rupees per 1 kilo. Dozen 9 rupees per dozen. 8 rupees per dozen. Very sweet quality.
Can I try one?
Huh? Orange yes, orange. तुम्हाला मराठी बोलतो हिंदी खेळ ज्यादा येत नाही उलट मराठी banana. तुमचं काय पाहिजे तू काय इकडे
Bye.
नाही अंगावडची
तिथे ठेव खातर
अरे काय तरी सांग ना गड्डी बिड्डीतलं भाजी बिजी उलटी पालटी किती करायची
एक
How was that? It's later in the day now, and I'll explain where we just went, in the Mondai, that is. It's only about 3 blocks away, and I started the tape recorder when I was about 100 feet away from the main building, and I ended it at the same place. And what I did, I just walked right through the Mondai, past cellars and everything, and looked around and caught the sounds that were there. I walked from, there's a new building I told you, and then a road in between where it's completely lined with cellars, and it's the noisiest part of all. And then the old part where it gets very quiet again. And I pass a parrot, that's the bird that you hear. And then a guy, if you listen closely, you can hear him say Sahib. And all that comes out, I think, is the Heb, but it was very clear. As I walked by, many people called to me to sell me things. And in English, it was funny, as I walked, there would be an increase of the English spoken right near me, I could tell. And one guy offered me bananas. Also, if you hear any hissing, they're hissing for me to stop and come look at their vegetables. Then I stopped and I bought some apples, and my voice doesn't come out too well, but the man I talked to did. He spoke English, which is unusual. Toda English, very little English. So I bought some apples from him, for 5 rupees, which is like $5, for 1 kilo, which turned out to be 9 apples. And they're good too. And what you do is, you can ask for a sample. You can ask for a sample, or you can just trust them. But it's perfectly acceptable if you've shown something to ask them to cut off a piece of a fruit. So I had a couple pieces of apple, 2 as a matter of fact, 1 for you and 1 for me. And while I'm carrying on the transaction, they ask if I want bananas, and then they ask if I want oranges, while they're putting the apples in little bags. And I say no, nako, which means literally I don't want. Then I walk on, and some guy calls to me, "Tumalakai Paije, what do you want?" And he wants me to come over and look at his things. And then I walked around a little bit more and back out. Just general noise. There's a couple main sections, little sections. One really neat thing. I played this for Mr. Lele, where I'm staying now, and he listened. And one guy I passed said, "Keiro kasakai." And you say kasakai for "how are you doing?" Usually, like when you meet somebody, you say kasakai. But it also, in this case, means something else. It means keira is banana, and so it kind of means how is it with that banana. And apparently, a guy had just eaten a banana and thrown the peel on the ground in the way, and some guy was, telling him to pick it up. So, in that you can hear keiro kasakai. And then after that, a whole slew of words, well, a short sentence with sangha in it. And he's telling him to pick it up. And then I walk back through the modern part of the building, and you hear ek do, which is 1 2 1 2 1 2 in Hindi. And somebody saying bara ana, or char ana, char ana. Ana is the old form of money. It's worth about 6 paise, and everything's still measured in that. Like you buy something for 4, 8, 12, or 16 annas. Not 16 because that's 1 rupee. But everything is bara ana, or char ana, or ek ana. There's an ek ana in there too. And then I come out, and I just walk up the same street I came out on and off. Right now I have to study. I have to write this horrible paper. We have to write 2 papers for Stanley's course, and I'm just sick of studying. And I've been working on this paper and reading for it, but I'm just really sick of doing it. I just finished a long paper, about 20 pages on 20 pages double-spaced, 11 pages single-spaced as it was, and on Islamic ethics. So after I finish this paper, I have to write my project. The suggestions that you made were really good, and I think I said all this. But I think what I'm going to write mostly is just, hopefully, I have enough time to write just a little manual of, well, how to sing, to, hopefully, if somebody read it and was interested, just by reading it and having a musical instrument with them or something, they would know about the rhythm and about the melody and how to sing the rags that I've learned. And I think what I'll do is not try to figure out any kind of Western notation, but graph the ragas. I don't know how exactly I'll do it, but I have a feeling I'm just going to have to work it out. It'll be mostly graphs, as a matter of fact. It should be very fascinating, though. Although I'm really kind of sick of studying at this point. On Tuesday, we're going to Alandi, where they're having a major festival for the Warkari Pant. And on Thursday, we're going to Bombay to see Elephanta. I don't know if you've ever seen it. I can't remember when I first did whether it was in India or not. At Elephanta, they've got a huge bas-relief of a Trimurti. I'm not sure if they're caves there or what, but huge bas-relief. And it's famous in Maharashtra. I don't know. I think it's famous in India, but I don't know. Anyway, we're going to go see that. And, I really feel worn out right now. It's hard to be living here right now because, you know, all the talks we've had about direction and everything, that my direction now is as a student, and I'm sick of studying. And it's hard because you can only attend so many bhajans, so many kirtans, so many Marathi plays which are just horrible, so many concerts which you don't understand. And I feel I feel the most separate I've felt since I arrived, and yet I feel at home here. I feel kind of like I'm marking time, somehow. One thing about that Islam paper I think of is that it was nice to read about a ethic where man wasn't thought of as God, where man had a lower position. And I wouldn't even say that they come to the same conclusions or anything like that. Islam and Hinduism and those things, but Islam stressed the separation between man and God. But it does it in a really cool way because it says that since man was created by God, he has, within him is the reflection of God. And then they bring that around to that all virtues are God, are possessed by God, and man only strives to attain the reflection, which is as close as he can get. But at the same time, another aspect they come to is that God is the inner peace to be maintained, and the outward externals are to be continually activated, strong. Like, they take the example of the life of Muhammad, is that he was always fighting wars and everything, but yet his heart was at peace. The inward calm, security, rest in peace in God, and the outward fight, constant fight. So I got a lot out of that paper. It was really interesting. I look forward to talking to you about it. I think you'll like it, at least what I found out. We're going to discuss it in class on Tuesday. I hope this doesn't sound depressed, but I'm kind of tired right now. But I want to get this off. It's taken me about 4 days now, 5 days to do this, and I want to make sure that you get it soon. Maybe it'll arrive by Thanksgiving. Oh, Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving here will be in Bombay. Oh, about telephones. The reason I said not to telephone in that cable is that telephone takes 2 days just to get through, and then you can't understand the person talking to you, and you don't know what they've said because you have to go through 2 operators. And the one in Bombay, more likely than not, doesn't know English. So, I wanted to telephone you, but I sent the cable instead that you just got. And I haven't gotten a reply yet. It's been 2 days. I do want you to know that I understand about you're not being able to write, and about the priorities in your life right now and everything. I understand utterly and completely, and I've written that twice. And that every time I don't get a letter, I know that you're working and hard, and that you've got to get this out of the way. And no problem, really. I miss your letters. And when your letters come up, the day seems right. But don't worry. I understand completely, no sweat. No problem at all. And another thing, I decided that I don't want to come back to India if you're not going to come, at least for part of the time. So there. So you I've just listened to this, and oh, my voice, good grief. I gotta do something to put more life in it somehow. It's so low, wow. Dear Mira, hold on. I'm with you 300%, and I love you very much. In some ways, December 23rd seems so far away, and then in others it seems like it's about to happen tomorrow. I love you, Mira.